Welcome. This is Linda Mullen from Back to the Beach Software. I'm working today in Web Studio 5.0, and I'm going to show you how easy it is to make a drop-down menu. I'm going to go over 4 things today in this webinar. The first is the menu components that you're going to need to make a menu. And then I'm going to show you step-by-step how to create a menu in your website. I'll go over some design tips, and lastly, where you can get some help making your menus if you need it. So let's get started. The first thing is, what do you need to make a menu? Really, the only thing you need is one graphic. Web Studio's Menu Maker will take that graphic, label the main menu item, and then assign pages that go underneath the main menu to the menu items. On my example on the left, I'm going to use 2 graphics. This top one, which is a little darker, is going to be my main menu item, and that's the one that will be on that you'll see on my web page. The one that's underneath it will be my drop-down menu items, and that's where the pages will be that I want to have underneath my main menu. One thing that's very important about when you're choosing your menu graphics is to pay attention to how long your page names are, or how long you want to put, how much text you want to put on the graphic. The graphic has to be long enough to hold the text. If your text is a lot longer than your graphic, then it will look off-center and it will not look good on your page. There are 2 steps to making a menu. The first step is to assign the pages, and that happens in the Menu Maker Studio. You create a graphic on your page, you select it, and you go up to the Create tab and click the Menu Maker. This opens the Menu Maker Studio. Inside the studio, you label your main menu, and then you add the drop-down pages called Menu Items. You add this from a list of all of your pages in this box over here, and I'm going to show you how to do that later. You create menu items for drop-down menus, and you can also create submenus. The other thing you can do here is you can add a link to an external website so that as part of your drop-down menu, you can send someone else to another website. The second step in creating your menu is to make your design choices. Now, that first step happened in a dialog from your commands. The second step actually takes place in a browser. This is a menu, and I'm going to double-click on it to open up the Design Studio. The first thing I want you to notice is that it put the page into preview. That means that this page is now in a browser. Because the page is in the browser, I can now see how the menu works. Until the menu is in a browser, you won't be able to see how it works on your page. The other thing I want you to notice is that your ribbon has changed. Instead of having your regular ribbon commands, you now have a Menu Maker Design Studio. And within that Design Studio, you have all of the design features that you can choose for your menu. I'm going to close out of these pages right here and show you a couple of menu samples. I have 4 sample menus here. The first one looks like a navigation bar with text on it. The text is really graphic and really is a menu. I made this navigation bar and the menu and menu items from the Shape command in the Draw tab. The second set is our graphics that I got from the Free Zone in the template store. I'm going to show you later how you can get some free items from the template store so that you can insert these into your website and use them to make menus. The third set came from graphics that I got from our Buttons Gallery. and I'm going to show you how I did that right now. Go to the Buttons Gallery, click on the tab, and notice that underneath there are several images that have little folders on them. That means that underneath that image is a subgallery. I'm going to double-click on this and see there's an assortment of colors in the subgallery. I'll scroll down, and these are the ones that I used to make my menu. I'm going to right-click over this image, choose Copy, go to a blank spot on my page, right-click, and choose Paste. Sometimes when we take graphics out of the Buttons Gallery, they come out with a transparency. That means that there might be a section of it that is completely transparent, and if you put it on a dark page, you could see through. The way to fix that is to right-click over the graphic, choose Properties, go to the Graphics section, and notice that Transparent is checked. I want to uncheck Transparent and click OK. Now I can use this graphic to make my menu, and if I have a dark page, nothing will show through. The last set are graphics that I obtained online, and I got them for free. These particular graphics I got from a site called grsites.com. They have literally hundreds of backgrounds and buttons and things that you can use on your website. The important thing is that they cannot be resold, and you can put them in templates and sell the templates. So you must read their license agreement. But generally, if you're using something for your own personal website, you can get graphics from GR Sites. Okay, I'm going to close out of these samples, and I'm going to show you how to make a menu step by step. I just want to remind you that in order to make a menu, you need 1 or 2 graphics. And what you're going to do is if you have 2 graphics, you're going to select them in the order that you want them to show, then click on the menu maker, assign the pages, and when you're done, go to the Design Studio. One of the really cool things about the Menu Maker Studio is that as you assign the pages, links to those pages come with them. So you don't have to put any other links on your menus or on your menu items. I'm going to use these graphics here. I'll click on the first one. That'll be my main menu item. Hold down the Shift key and then click on the drop-down item. Go up and click on Menu Maker. This opens the Menu Studio. The title for my menu will be Making Menus. Then I need to add some pages that will drop down from the main menu. So I click this little arrow and I see a list of all the pages in my website. I'm going to choose one and add it. Notice that it began a list of all the menu items that will drop down under Making Menus. I'm going to choose another one, Samples. Now if I want to, I can go down here and I can add all my pages. And then after I add them, I can easily remove them by deleting. And I can also reorder them. I can highlight to select, and I can move it up or move it down the stack. So I can decide the order of appearance. I'm going to delete these for now, leave the first 2, and go down and add another drop-down item, only this time I'm going to add it to an external website. I'm going to add a link to Web Studio's website. So I'm going to call it Web Studio. That's what will show up on the menu item. And then I'm going to key in the URL to the website. Once that's finished, I'm going to click Add this URL. And when I'm done, my Making Menus main menu will have 3 drop-down menu items. I'm done building the pages, so I have a choice here. I can save and go right to the design menu, or I can click OK and design later. I'm going to click OK for now, and I'll tell you why. When the menu is made, it's made really on top of the graphics that I used. And I like to move my menu away to design it. So I'm going to move it up there. While it's selected, I can go to the Menu Maker drop-down menu and choose Design. Or I can just double-click, and that immediately puts me into Preview and into my Menu Maker Design Studio. Now you can see that my menu is active. Menus do not become active until they are in Preview or they're on the Internet. So while you're designing menus on your page, you can't see them in action until you preview them. Once they're previewed, you can see them working. When it's time to design a menu, I always just start at the left and go across. This is going to be a vertical menu. The drop-down will be vertical. I'm going to choose 12 for my text. I want it to be nice and big. Choose white as the color. And then when the mouse is over it, I'll choose orange. I want to align the text in the center. And I have a choice of adding a border, but I really don't need one on this menu. The next section starts the items that drop down. I'm going to do the same thing. I'll make the text 11, color white, over color orange. Alignment will be to the right with no borders. And let's do something fun for transition. Let's do vertical blinds. Now I can come over, move my mouse over, and see how that looks. I like the way that looks. So I'm going to come out of Preview by closing. And now I have a menu. Notice that the font did not change on my menu. And I'm going to leave it selected, click on the Menu Maker, click OK, and that resets the design choices for me. And now I have a menu. Let's close out of this and do another menu. This time I'm going to show you how to make this navigation bar with the menu items that are on it. Go to the Draw tab and select the rectangle. Then go to Fill Color and open up the Graduated Fill dialog. I want this to be a horizontal. And I'm going to choose a starting color that's very dark. And I'm going to choose an ending color that's a lot lighter. Then I'm going to resize this by pulling it out as long as I want, but I'm only going to make it about half as deep. I'm going to go get another shape, do another graduated fill, and this time my starting color will be the light one, and my ending color will be the dark. Once again, I'm going to pull it out. And I'm going to click on this first one that I made, hold down the Shift key, and click on the new one. Then I'm going to go to Page Layout and make them equal size. Once I've done that, I can move this up until it looks pretty seamless. It just looks like a graduated fill that's highlighted in the middle. Now I'm going to select both of them, and the way I'll do that is to click on a blank spot of my background, drag my mouse until there's a rectangle touching both of them, and I'm going to align them on the left so that I can make sure they're in perfect alignment. While it's still selected, I'm going to click Create, and I'm going to merge them together. That looks pretty good, but I need a copy of it. So I'm going to hold down the Control key, click and drag. That brings me a copy. While it's still selected, I'm going to hold down the C key for crop. Go over to the left-hand side, and when the arrow changes, when the cursor changes to an arrow, I'm going to hold down my mouse button and drag. See the line? That's going to tell me where I'm cropping, and then I'm going to release my mouse button. While my C key is still held down, I'm going to crop from the right, a little from the top, and a little from the bottom. That'll be my main menu. Now I need a drop-down menu item. So I'm going to get another rectangle, and I'm going to fill it with the lighter color, and I might even make it lighter than that. Select this one, hold down the Shift key, select the other, go to Page Layout, and make them equal size. And that's what my menu will look like. That's selected. I'm going to hold down the Shift key, select the second one, go to Create, and open up the Menu Maker. This is Making Menus. I'm going to add components. Then I'm going to add my samples. This time I also want to have a submenu. I want a submenu under Menu Samples. And that's pretty easy to do. I'm going to select the page I want to go under it, move my cursor to the very beginning of that page name, and key in the straight line that's on my keyboard. That straight line is found just above the diagonal slash. Now I'm going to add this page, and that created the submenu. I'm going to click OK. Move this up so I can design it away from the maddening crowd. Double click and start again. I'm going to make this a horizontal menu. This time I want the submenus to spread out to the right. My font will be 12. My normal color will be black. My over color will be blue. The alignment will be in the center. And I don't want to choose any borders for my menu. On my items that are dropping down, I'll choose 11, black, blue, and I'm going to align these to the left. Since I want the submenus to come out toward the right, I'm going to do a pretty straightforward transition and have them wipe right. And that's what my menu looks like. I'm going to close the Design Studio, come down here, go to the Create tab, open up the Menu Studio, and click OK so I can see what my fonts look like. And that really looks good. I'm going to get rid of these and move this so that it looks seamless over the navigation bar. The next thing I want to do is put a little design feature behind the navigation bar. And I'm going to open up this fill, and I'm just going to go down so that I pick a dark color. Move it over and resize it. Go to Page Layout and send it to the back. Once it's behind the navigation bar, then I can just use the selection handles to resize it the way that I want. The last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hold down the Control key while I click and drag so that I can get a few of these on here and show you how I would align them. I'd put one where I want it at the end, one where I'd want it in the beginning, hold down the Shift key and select all of them. Then I want to align the top so that they're all even and space them horizontally. If I have to, I can use the arrow key on my keyboard to move them so that they look seamless on the navigation bar. And that's all there is to making a menu. Before I close, I want to talk to you about where you can get some graphics and how you can get some help making menus. First of all, let's talk a little bit about free online graphics. What I do when I want to get some free graphics for my website is I do search for free buttons, free graphics, and button makers. There are several free button makers online. Some of them allow you to choose a color for your background. If you can get a button maker that lets you choose a color, then you can use buttons that have curved edges for your menus, because the curved edges will have the correct background color behind them. If you are putting your buttons or your menus on a white website page with no color, then it doesn't matter. You can also use a curved rectangle. However, if you are putting your menu on anything that has a color and you don't have a graphics program that you can fix the background, anything that you get online is going to come through with a white background. So you either want to use a rectangle where you wouldn't see the background at all, or make sure that it's on a white background. So the rule of thumb is you can always use a rectangle on any color that you have on your web page. But if you have a color and you can match the background, you can use a curved edge. When you want to get some help in using Web Studio or finding out more about the menus, first of all, in the Create tab under the Menu Maker is the video launcher. You can click there to open up the video and watch a video to refresh your memory on how to build menus. The second thing is over on the Home tab on the right-hand side, you have instant links to Web Studio TV, which has, oh gosh, it has lots of information about Web Studio, including all of the training videos and that came with the program. WebStudio.com is our main website and has a lot of, has all of the links there. Documentation is an online PDF of your manual, and the Web Studio Wiki. Right now I'm going to take you to our Web Studio website and show you that under Resources you can link to all of those things I was just talking to you about, and you can also link to the Web Studio Forum. The forum is a place where you can chat with other users and find out answers to your questions. Down here on the Web Studio website is a link to the Web Studio template store, and that's where you're going to find your free items. So I'm going to take you there right now so you can see what that looks like. This is the home page of our Web Studio template store. In the store you can purchase templates that were made specifically for Web Studio 5.0. The templates come with at least 2 pages, lots of instructions on some other pages, extra graphics, and they have a choice of using rollover buttons or drop-down menus that are pre-made for you. The place that I want to take you to in the store is the free zone. Everything in this area is free, and you download it into a file on your computer, and then you can use the Insert Picture command in your Insert tab in your program to bring in the images. For instance, this is a selection of buttons, and you'll notice there's about 20 colors on these buttons. You can use these for menus. You can also use them for plain buttons. They come in a zip file, and you need to unzip them and just save them in a file folder. The last thing I want to show you is the home page of our wiki. You really want to bookmark this page. You want to go here a lot. It has a link to Web Studio TV, the Web Studio Forum, and a link to the store. It also has a 1-hour webinar that shows you how to get started with Web Studio and shows you most of the commands. Down here on the left is a topical index of the articles that are contained in the wiki. And we have over 1,000 articles that tell you how to do things, including step-by-step menus. Up here is a search box, and you can actually search for words that you like and get a list of articles that are connected to that word. So that is all for today. Hope you enjoy making menus. Hope this was helpful to you, and we hope to see you again.